Well, good morning, church, and welcome to part 19 of our mini-devotional series titled Therefore, where we're exploring some of the therefore verses in the Bible in order to find out what they are there for. And we're in 1 Peter chapter 4, verse 7 this morning, where Peter writes the following. He says, "Therefore, be clear-minded and self-controlled so that you can pray." So, what is our therefore there for? Well, in the beginning of verse 7, Peter's actually been saying to the church, he's been writing to them saying, the end of all things is near. In other words, it's Peter's way of saying, listen, we're moving towards a moment when Jesus is going to return. A moment when every knee is going to bow and every tongue will confess that Jesus Christ is Lord to the glory of God the Father. A moment when all of humankind will be gathered before the judgment seat of God. And for Christians, this will be a moment when we need to give an account for everything that we have done in the body, to give an account for what we have done with the things that God has entrusted to us. The end of all things is near. And if you're tempted at this point to say, well, how near? Is it 1 week, a month, 6 months? I guess Peter would say, well, it's closer today than it was yesterday. But the important bit is that in light of this truth, Peter then says, be self-controlled, be clear-minded so that you can pray. Lying behind this, there's a question that's basically asking us, if Jesus is coming back, don't you want to be ready? And then the verses that follow, verse 7, 8, 9, it basically goes on to tell us how we can be ready, the sorts of things that we should be doing if we want to be ready. Beginning with, be clear-minded and self-controlled so that you can pray. Then love one another deeply. Then practice hospitality without grumbling. And use your gifts that God has given you to serve the church. If you do these things, if you pray, if you love each other deeply, if you practice hospitality, if you're using your gifts to serve the church, then guess what? You will be ready when Jesus comes. And it will all be to the praise of his glorious name. Let me pray for you as you go out into this day. And Father, I pray for myself and for my brothers and sisters. Would you help us to be clear-minded and self-controlled so that we can pray, so that we can love each other deeply and serve each other wholeheartedly and joyfully. In Jesus' name we ask it. Amen. May you walk today bathed in the light of Jesus, and may your whole life be a doorway through which others glimpse the power and the glory and the beauty of God. Thanks so much for connecting, and I look forward to seeing you again tomorrow. God bless.